Welcome to Recovery Dharma. My name is Josh. I'm one of the facilitators here at Soul Center, the Spokane Sangha. I this month of December, we've been exploring a topic that Julia brought forth of the five worldly elements, a concept in Buddhism, um, the different forces associated symbolically with these elements of earth, air, fire, water, and the fifth being ether or space. And I'm not an experienced Buddhist practitioner or trained in Buddhism. So I really love these types of topics where I get to do a little deeper dive. Um, in our recovery program, exploring non-recovery specific aspects of Buddhism and then applying those to this recovery scenario. Uh, and so it's fun for me. It's a little school day that I get to do some exploring. Um, and tonight I'm going to be focusing on the air element, which, as I've come to understand, air represents, there's both the internal element of air and external element of air that represent impermanence, these passing events and conditions in our lives within and without. Um, and this is, like a lot of these topics, I find them to be very timely. I am coming to a point in a long career where I am almost done with my career. I've worked for a large fire department in the Bay Area for a long time, and the last several years, I've been training recruits and also experiencing conditions that are both within my control and out of my control. I had a couple injuries, and so the path that I was on was not something that I had planned really. It was just life happening. Um, Sometimes it felt like it was happening to me. Sometimes it felt like I was making decisions. But as it's drawing to a close, I've really been reflecting a lot on impermanence, being able to look with this 30-year perspective in the rearview mirror. It's been really interesting, the things that I'm finding meaning in now are a lot different than what I found meaning in as a kid in my 20s. Um, and conversely, the things that really mattered to me when I was 26 years old seem ridiculous at this stage of my life. Um, but because of this practice, I'm able to sort of have this perspective of looking at these things as the rising and falling of so many different circumstances and events. Uh, and it's really making for a beautiful experience for me. I don't know that I would have the same perspective without this practice. It's definitely given me these tools that I can reference and recognize. So, um, yeah, it's there's things I'm doing as I'm training recruits right now. My time is so short. Every day I do something, I'm recognizing this is probably the last time I'm ever going to do this. And that causes such a mix of feelings and thoughts and emotions. Sometimes it's sorrow. Sometimes I overcome with joy, and sometimes it's just this feeling of just almost being overwhelmed by this realization of, this is gone. And I'm so grateful that I got to experience this and that I get to spend as long as my brain's functioning the rest of my life, remembering it, um, without it having the same sense of loss that I think I might have experienced without this practice. So, thank you very much to Buddhism for teaching me the value of impermanence. And so I would like to ask everybody to join me in a meditation. I'll invite my chime to sing. So go ahead and begin by settling into whatever comfortable posture suits you. If stillness is available, go ahead and let yourself settle into that. Getting comfortable, let your hands and your arms rest easily. Gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. And take a few moments to simply arrive here and now in this present moment that we're all sharing. Find your breath and notice that your breath has found you. It's already present, already moving, doesn't need any instruction. And allow your attention to rest on that natural rhythm of your breath, feeling the air as it enters your body and leaves again. So we're all here together in this moment. There's nothing to hold on to. Each one of our breaths arrives, lingers briefly, and then dissolves. Now bring your attention to the points of contact between your body and the earth, whether it's your feet if you're standing, a chair or cushion, a floor, maybe you're in your car. Notice that even as the body is supported, there's movement within. With that movement, notice the air as an element of motion. You can feel it as breath, feel vibrations, expansion of your chest, then the release. Wherever there's air, there's change. Allow your breath to be just as it is. No need to control it. Let it be long or short, shallow or deep. And notice how it shifts from moment to moment, never repeating in exactly the same way. This breath, as it changes, is impermanence made visible. Now gently explore this internal air element. Feel your breath in your nostrils, in your chest. Feel your belly rising and falling. And sense the more subtle movements in your body. Feeling pulsings and tingling, warmth, coolness. Perhaps you can sense the movement of their blood or feel the beating of your heart. Or as you sit in stillness, notice your muscles constantly adjusting, holding you upright, or even if you're laying down. None of this is really stillness, because even in our stillness, there's always motion. Observe how these sensations of these movements, these physical sensations, arise as you become aware of them. Notice them change, notice them fade away. This air that moves in and out of our body reminds us that our body is a process, not a possession. It's in constant relationship with the world around it as we breathe in and breathe out. None of our breath can be kept. No breath will be repeated. Let this impermanence be known gently without judgment. Now, broaden your awareness to include your mind as well as your body. Notice that thoughts appear like gusts of wind. They arise, move through awareness, and then dissolve. A thought comes into your head, and that thought goes. An emotion will stir, it'll intensify, or fade, or change. You don't need to push anything negative away or hold on to anything that feels positive. Simply observe the nature of air, movement without ownership. Even as you breathe, the concept that I am breathing can gently be softened into breathing is happening. Nothing here stays, always changing. Now, bring your awareness to the external air element. Imagine the breeze outside moving through the trees, causing your wind chimes to sing. Picture clouds drifting through the sky. Picture the wind shaping landscapes over time, carving rocks, causing waves of grain to ripple. Even though it's unseen, the air shapes everything that it touches. Consider how the same forces of change that move the weather also move your life, your relationships, circumstances change, health changes. Everything is subject to movement. Everything that arises will pass. Notice as you think of this, if you feel any resistance in your body or your mind. And if you do, simply acknowledge it gently, without judgment, just as another movement of the air. Allow your breath to remind you that change is not a failure of life. It's the nature of life. Paying attention to that air moving in and out of your body. Begin to rest in a balanced presence of neither clinging nor resisting, letting the air move as it's going to with or without you. With each inhale, know that this too is arising. And with each exhale, know that this too is passing away. Let your awareness of this impermanence be a teacher rather than a threat. When nothing can be held, the heart can soften. And when nothing is fixed, compassion is possible. Allow yourself to feel the freedom in not needing the breath or your body or this moment to be any different than it is. As we come to the end of our meditation, gently begin to bring awareness back to your whole body. Notice yourself breathing. Feel the earth's support beneath you. Notice that steady rhythm of air continuing on its own. Namaste, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining us all here tonight. It's always good to see you. Always good to hear your shares, heavy or otherwise. I'd like to offer a dedication of merit. If you care to get in a position of a noble posture or a position of comfort, may the benefit of this practice be offered for all beings everywhere. May we meet change with wisdom rather than fear, and movement with compassion rather than clinging. May all beings find ease within unfolding conditions, learn to breathe with the changing winds of life, and be free from suffering born of attachment. Namaste.